Here we are.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's right.
I started falling asleep during the game.
Oh, wow.
Well, I'm still sort of jet lagged. It's weird to be like that after like over a week.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I keep like
Oh,
waking up.
baby,
at, like,
you are.
Well, I keep waking up at like 4 or 5 or something like that, which I know
What's
you
the
love
time
to do.
difference between LA and Japan?
17 hours, and then it was 16 hours because daylight savings happened while I was there.
Oh,
They should just make it 24 hours. That way there's no jet lag.
They should.
Well, whoever's in charge of such things.
No, now would that be Japan changing all of their clocks just for the United States, or would that be the entire world? How would that play out?
I'm just saying there should be some sort of adjustment.
Just then play it out. Just play it out.
Well, okay, so if it's a 17-hour difference, it's really a 7-hour difference.
What is that? What does that mean?
Well, because if it was 7 more hours, then it would just be 24 hours, which would mean it was the same. So it's really a 7-hour difference.
What? How could that be?
Well, because it's 17 hours in future past, but it's only 17 hours difference from what time you're normally used to.
Like, it was 7 more hours, it would be the
It
same
would be
time,
24,
just
which
the
would be
next
the
day.
same.
But I don't think it works like that because I'm
Well,
still
of course it
living.
does.
I'm living the day.
You're living yesterday?
Yeah, well, I was. So
No.
you're like adjusting yourself to the clock. You're not. I don't think that's a 7 hours thing.
Of course it is.
I don't think that's
Because if it was 7 more hours, it would be 24 and you would be right on.
But I'm ahead. And so to just be like, it's just like
you're not in
your
the
body
future.
clock. Your body clock is just like, just go 7 more hours and then now you're even. I don't think that's how it works. But I'm not an expert on jet lag.
On time zones.
I just don't think you can math it out. Is all I'm saying.
Tell that to Daryl.
Probably, yeah.
Yep. All right. The Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast is presented by Draftkings Sportsbook. Sign up for Draftkings Sportsbook by using promo code RTRS. Brought to you by Pavorsky Jewelers. Rights to Ricky Sanchez listeners, go and get engaged. Adam Ksebe, the official realtor of the process, Ksebe, at 302-864-8643. And Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka, the official sponsor of the Corner 3 newsletter with Zoe. Subscribe at rightstoRickySanchez.com/newsletter. On the show today, a stressless loss. The Sixers lose again to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Marcus Morris hates Daryl Morey. The Sixers officially shut down Paul George. And Paul Reed takes just like an unnecessary shot at all of us and the Sixers for no reason at all on Twitter. Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka. Well, the Sixers are bad, but Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka is good. And as the weather starts to warm up and you get ready for the summer and the beach and backyard barbecues, I guess people do those sorts of things, you're going to want to have Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka with you. And we're 8 days from the Phillies, and I can tell you at Citizens Bank Park, there's going to be a lot of Surfside. Why does everyone drink Surfside? Well, the can is cool, right? We tell you to do it, right? But mostly just because it's awesome. Tastes great. It's only 100 calories. It's only got 3 grams of sugar. Comes in every variety you could want. You know, green tea and vodka, raspberry, peach, lemonade, iced tea and vodka. Come on. No carbonation, because iced tea shouldn't have bubbles, just lightly sweet. It's perfect. Just go get it wherever you get your alcohol, or go to statesidevodka.com and order there. You got to be 21 because that is the law. Without any further ado, Amos and the chef.
We were right, y'all. We were right. Even when it went wrong, we were right. We was right, y'all. We were right. So say the name. Say the name. We were right, y'all. We were right. Even when it went wrong, we were right. We were right, y'all. We were right. So say the name. Say the name. Say the name.
Welcome to the Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast. I'm Spike Eskin, along with a guy who, if Japan was only 7 hours more difference from Los Angeles, wouldn't be jet lagged at all. That is one Mike Levin.
I'm locked in, baby.
Locked
Just a cool 33-point loss
Just smoked.
in the guts of the season.
They got smoked.
We're locked in. This was nice. It was. Look, I enjoy watching the Sixers Rockets game after I had already known that they lost. And that it was a close game and there was some juice there. Absolutely. But sometimes juice isn't good for you. Sometimes
Too much sugar.
too much sugar in juice. Sometimes you
Yeah.
need a little glass of water.
Mm-hmm.
And this was straight up room temp water of a loss. And that's what they needed to happen. And it's good for you. And just drink it.
I was thinking of you as I was watching the Houston game, the
Thank you.
Sixers Rockets game.
I like to be thought of.
Now, the first thing I'll admit is I got home and I sat down and I put my laptop on my laptop, and I saw a Sixers Adam tweet about the game, and I texted him and I said, honestly, I had no idea the Sixers were playing tonight. So then I turned on the game and I thought of you because the wanting them to lose broke me watching a live game, and I can't cheer for them to lose anymore. When I'm watching the game, I simply can't. Here are these guys fighting for their NBA lives, trying to win. It's like I'm going to feel bad because Quentin Grimes and Jalen Hood-Schifino and Justin Edwards are making threes and having a good time, like beating a really good team on the road. I'm not going to get mad at them for that. I'm going to cheer for them to do it. And I thought of you because the right way to watch these games is to find out what the result is first and then watch it. So you're not caught up in that.
No.
You know, I got caught up in it. It's very hard. I intellectually want them to lose, but when I'm watching them, these guys did nothing wrong to me. I like all these guys. I want them to do well, you know.
And I suppose I can't blame you for that. I would say maybe part of the blame goes onto the Sixers for not tanking harder, like as an organization. When you look at the Nets and the Raptors and all the other teams below them, the Jazz playing almost no one.
I mean,
all the time.
The Sixers tonight had 96% of its payroll not active tonight.
I can think of so many numbers higher than 96. There's so many more there to go.
96% of their
It should be
payroll.
all 10 days. It should be only 10 days. Quentin Grimes shouldn't be playing 43 minutes in the Rockets game in overtime. Like it's whatever. Like
Yeah,
it
they're
is what
losing.
it is. I'm not
They're
gonna be
losing.
mad. I'm not
They're
mad
losing.
about it. It's
Yeah.
fine.
They're
I don't
losing
care.
tons of games.
But
Yeah.
like you're watching the Raptors and it's like, okay, now their starters are sitting and it's gonna be, AJ Lawson and Orlando Robinson like closing the game for them, and Jakob Poeltl and RJ Barrett are just gonna sit there and watch. And it's like, well, I guess it's because they want to lose. Like very clearly they want to lose.
Yeah, but we didn't even start our RJ Barrett and Quentin Grimes. Like they're not even playing anymore.
Quentin Grimes, I think, is the starter on this team next year. I'm basically Quentin. Look,
No. I mean, I'm sorry, Manuel quickly, and we're not playing our.
I understand.
Our regular players aren't even playing.
I understand, but those guys are hurt. Those guys are hurt and have been hurt for a while, and in fact tried to play through injuries. So stupid. Shouldn't have done that. Didn't need that. They were losing games when they're doing that. So I guess
they
whatever.
lost
But
anyway.
the idea of like playing through injuries in a season like this seems insane. But let's talk about some good stuff because another game with Quentin Grimes. A couple games now. Quentin Grimes is really good.
So
He's really good. He's a really good basketball player. He was 8 of 14 from 3 against the Rockets. He had 46, 13, and 4, 28 and 6 against the Mavs, 28 and 5 tonight. He's just like an incredibly competent and maybe competent plus offensive player and defensive player. And I'm going to let you say what you want to say, but I have a thought.
your thought
You
first.
want a big thought?
Yeah, give me your big thought.
I think that Quentin Grimes has real tangible. Obviously, he's doing number one option stuff right now.
Yeah.
But as far as the rest of his career goes, I think he has real tangible Derrick White potential. Like
What?
Serious Derrick White potential. Because Derrick White was drafted when he was 23 years old.
Yeah.
And so because he played 3 seasons D2 and then played a year at Colorado. Got drafted late in the first round. Quentin Grimes also drafted around the same area. And Derrick White started really playing in his second season and then just sort of kept taking a step up each season from there. Gets traded from the Spurs to the Celtics, and then all of a sudden he's playing on like a really, really good team, and he's doing like all the stuff that you need that team to do. They're both great off-ball defenders, can get weak side steals. I mean, tonight's game he got 2 live ball steals above the break. The game was out of hand, whatever, but it was still cool to see him. Like that's part of that is effort. He has a high motor on both ends. He can rebound the hell out of the ball from the guard spot, just like Derrick White. Grimes had 13 rebounds against a really good Houston team last night or the other night. He's gotten his own miss a few times, which to me is emblematic of a really like winning player. It's very Derrick Whitey of him to do. And the shot is great. He's been hitting off the catch, off movement, anticipating double teams, hit a couple really tough shots against the Rockets off double teams. He hasn't probably been double teamed since high school, I would imagine. And is working well with them, attacking, finishing at the rim. He's got good ups. He's got a strong frame. He's got a really quick first step. His handle's been getting better. Like, he's not going to be a number one option on a good team, obviously, like 100%, obviously. But, like, it's cool to see a guy, like, amp up his game like this without the other guys there. Obviously, Derrick White is more point guardy, but in his optimized
physically
role.
stronger,
No.
seems like. You don't think so?
Yeah, I think they're both around 6'5", 200. And I think Grimes is getting stronger, like, with the ball in his hands. I just think the vision is really there and clear for a high-level role player with room to keep expanding his game that would fit with Maxey or McCain, and obviously Joel and Paul George if they came back from the dead. But at this point, like, he's had over 40 twice. There's essentially nothing that Brooklyn or like Detroit could pay him that I wouldn't match an offer sheet for.
What?
I don't think they're going to give him like $50 million a year. Like, obviously, I think there's also salary cap ramifications for how much they can pay him. We should have somebody on to say what they can do and stuff. But as far as if it's like 20, 25, like you can't let him walk for nothing.
You have to be careful with hard capping and all that kind of stuff.
At this point, hard cap it and then trade, like, figure it out later. Like, he's just too good. You cannot let him walk for nothing.
I don't think he's as good as you think he is.
I think he's like exactly the kind of role player plus that we have been like dying for on this team for so long. And he's 24 and he gives a shit. He's got a high motor. He plays both ends. He can.
Well, what do you
play
think
on or off the ball.
legitimately he'll get paid?
I have no idea because it's like the poison pill thing. So like, because it's a restricted free agent and there's just not that much restricted free agency in basketball anymore.
No, nobody signs.
My hope is that Daryl is back channeling, whether it's legal or not. I don't give a fuck. Don't get caught, but like back channel a contract and be like, hey, we want you to be here. You want to be here. You'd be perfect in this role. Let's just do it. Don't like let him go get a contract somewhere else and feel like excited to go live in Brooklyn. Like, keep him here. He should be here. Like, this was Daryl's best acquisition ever. Like, and not a drafted. It's probably Daryl's best acquisition since the Harden trade in Houston. I should look at that. I haven't looked. This is me off the cuff, but it's probably Daryl Morey's best like trade acquisition since acquiring James Harden with the Rockets. He's been amazing. He's been unbelievable. And I understand the concern of, okay, well, like, he's playing on a team that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
What? Like, it's fake stats. It could be anything. But like, his efficiency is high and he's doing it all over the floor. It is not just like he's hitting shots, he's getting to his mid-range or he's getting fouled a lot. Like, they're covering him tough. He's moving the ball. Like, I'm really like very excited about the idea of Maxey Grimes, McCain Grimes, and whoever else is here, we'll see. But like those three guys as a guard / I think Grimes can play up a little bit, so wing-ish combo. I feel really, really excited about that as like the foundation of the youth movement of this team. He's been great, and I don't think there's anything that he's doing that's unsustainable aside from like the amount of shots he's getting, and the amount of on-ball opportunities he's getting. That's it.
I'm not as sold, I guess. I
guess what could he be doing that?
Well, there's nothing at this point.
So
yeah.
So you're not saying there's something you're not seeing. It's just like the circumstance around him is so pointless that you can't even react to any of it.
Right. Like if we had given if you put Malik Monk in his spot and said go wild,
Yeah,
he'd probably do the same thing, right?
absolutely. But I think Malik Monk's a great offensive player, and Quentin Grimes is a way better defensive player than Malik
But
Monk.
little weird that. But do you think any team committing to serious like cap space to Malik Monk is ever going to win anything? Like Malik Monk's got to be an extra player, not a focus player.
I mean, Malik Monk right now he made 17 and a half this year. He's making 19 next year. He's making 20 next year. If that, or the year after that, if that's what.
Well, with new cap, that's probably 21,
Lowest, yeah. I mean,
24.
it comes down to like, what is the percentage of what percentage of cap is he taking up, right? Rather than like the sticker shock number of like whatever.
Well, and if here's the other
preconceived like number used to be. Yeah, go ahead.
Here's the other weird thing is that if you don't want to put yourself in it. This is a boring thing that I don't want to get into that neither of us know the answer to.
Yeah.
Is like if you have to take things apart next year, you don't want to put yourself in a difficult trade position because you're in a hard cap position where you can't like.
I hear that.
Yeah,
that you have to trade. You can't like aggregate
you can't
salaries.
Get rid of fucking Paul George for some reason because you have
sure.
to do a 6-team trade and yada.
Yeah,
yada.
and if that means you have to like, oh no, we had to attach Adem Bona to, I don't know, Andre Drummond to trade him for something, whatever. I'm just saying Quentin Grimes is an NBA starter and in his prime and could be here for 4 years or whatever throughout his like young, still athletic prime with a lot of like liveliness in his legs. I want that. I think it's really helpful for this team. I think him and Maxey are going to play really well together. I think him and McCain would play really well together. All guys that play hard. I think it's good like culture, tone setting stuff. I would keep him. The thing for me is less about like, oh no, you're hard capping yourself and then nothing you can do. Because I do think you can. They've clearly shown the ability to duck the tax or duck anything during the season. The issue would then be like, all right, Yabusele, do you lose him if Quentin Grimes is making enough money that that we are going to lose him? And I think that's certainly possible. And at this point, like I just think Grimes is more championship playable. Obviously, championship's a long way away, but let's say playoff contender, playable.
Yeah.
Than Yabusele is for major minutes, I believe.
Then I actually have a question for you after Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast brought to you by LL Pavorsky Jewelers. Mike, you're going to love this email from Ross in Melbourne, Australia.
Hit me, Ross.
Just listen to you reading the latest LL ad, and while I'm on the other side of the world and not in the market for jewelry at the moment, I looked up Lee's store at 707 Walnut in Google and noticed the positive Google reviews. 4.9 rating with only one person not providing a 5-star review is exceptional. Seems like Lee responds to each review to another indication of his professionalism and care for his clients. Won't be emailing anymore in the short term, so just like Podcast P, I can focus on my work and not get distracted. Peace out, Ross from Melbourne, Australia.
I love it.
I love it. LL Pavorsky Jewelers, where you get your engagement ring for your significant other. And then once you get your engagement ring, you got a guy for jewelry. So every anniversary, every Valentine's Day, every birthday that you need a jeweler, you go to LL Pavorsky. And then when somebody asks you, who do I go for an engagement ring? You know somebody because you got a guy. It is just like, it never stops. LL was the first advertiser on the Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast. And he still is here on the Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast. He has sold over 400 Rights to Ricky Sanchez listeners engagement rings. He has, think of how many babies exist because of LL Pavorsky selling a ring to somebody.
And solely because of LL.
It's solely because of LL.
For no other reason.
Treats you with respect, no pressure, great product, great price. Simply, if you listen to this podcast and you go to anybody else for an engagement ring, you are dead to us.
I'll fucking kill you, dude.
Dead. Okay. If you wanted to buy an engagement ring for him, what you got to do is make an appointment only, not to be a jerk about it, to give you the attention you deserve. 215-627-2252. Send him an email, lee@llpavorsky.com. You can tweet at him at llpavorsky. 707 Walnut, as I mentioned. Support of our charities, Mama T's Community Fridge and Providence Animal Center. LL Pavorsky Jewelers.
Lives his life 17 hours ahead.
There he does. He also has May 12th is the lottery, and we would ask that you not make any plans for that evening, as we are making plans for you that we will reveal soon. LL has also reserved time that evening.
That's right.
So let's say this. Let's say you're going into this offseason and, Quentin Grimes, there's some offer, I don't know. It's not nothing, but it's not like max salary, but it's also a significant number, whatever. Like, do you just, this offseason, like, are you looking at Paul George and going, nah, like, I don't want to even try this with you anymore. And at some point, I'm going to have to deal with whatever this Embiid thing is, but I would rather sign Quentin Grimes, feel good about it, and trade Paul George for, if I can get off him for neutral, like it doesn't cost me any picks, I just get players that add up to the salary, no prohibitive contracts. That's the easiest way for me to keep Quentin Grimes. Are you doing that?
I think a lot of the Paul George Embiid discussion depends on each other. And if they still have hope for Joel to play some amount of games next year that they think could be helpful to a contending team or in the years to come. And then they would think like, okay, then PG is still on that timeline. We think PG after the surgery, we think the shot will regress in a positive way. And with Maxey and McCain back and then Grimes, like George at a smaller role, will still be like very, very helpful as a two-way player, even if he's overpaid, whatever. I think that those conversations are like sort of like, okay, we'll see what happens there. We'll see what they decide. We'll see what the medical looks like, whatever. To me, Quentin Grimes makes sense on both timelines. And I don't want to say two timelines because right now it's no timelines.
Yeah.
But like, no matter which direction the team goes in, we're rebuilding or we're recentering around the young guys, or we're like, okay, miracle happened. Joel's good. Paul George is like a B+ version of himself. We think we can win. We think we can contend for a championship, just like we thought last offseason. Quentin Grimes is like the perfect fit for that also. And so I think no matter what, you sign the guy that's here, that's playing well, and you have more in the future. You can go like, oh, okay, now we have more information. It's not working. We'll trade Paul George. At least we still have Quentin Grimes. Like, I just don't want to let a good player walk because of salary cap future concerns. Now, it's interesting I'm saying this on the night that the Sixers played the Oklahoma City Thunder, who employ Isaiah Joe, where they couldn't have signed him. Daryl was like, we couldn't have signed him, so we had to just waive him entirely, which was dumb. And Daryl still believes that he has justifications for that. But at a certain point, like,
ask Marcus Morris.
You take a step back and you go, I probably shouldn't waive a good player when other worse players are on the team. And now Isaiah Joe has grown into an even better player and is helping a championship contender, maybe the championship favorite. And so I don't want to do that with Quentin Grimes. He has proven on this team. It's not even an Isaiah Joe thing where it's like, hey, he kind of plays kind of cool when he's in there. Maybe he could be something. He's got crazy range. Now it's like Quentin Grimes is playing major minutes, big role, producing at an NBA level. Yes, it's for a team that's not winning games and is not trying to win games, but his play, I understand your concern that the games don't matter, but it's not like he's like LaMelo Ball out there just kind of playing like lazily losing type games and he's just like hitting crazy step backs or like Jordan Poole stuff, whatever. It looks absolutely applicable to what it could look like on a smaller role when the team is legitimate. And I just can't let that guy walk. I just can't let him walk for really like anything. And if you're overpaying him, then at least you're overpaying someone in his prime, in his physical prime, rather than overpaying someone twice as much in Paul George or Embiid or whatever. And I guess I don't care about like a luxury tax situation because they have the money.
Okay. Yeah. They're probably just going to have to make a choice at some point. I don't think to me, the choice is probably more difficult than Yabusele is like that. I wonder if it's a Paul George choice. I have no idea. I have no idea what Grimes is going to make. by the way. And as Sixers Adam wrote an article, there's not a lot of teams, but there's like 2 teams that can offer him money: the Nets and the Pistons. Is that
and the poison pill makes it weirder. But yeah, I would happily pay him $20 million a year. Happily.
It's not your money.
It's absolutely not my money.
Yeah.
And it never will be.
Nope.
But I would happily root for a team paying him $20 million a year.
Couple of other things about I love Justin Edwards, by the way.
Great.
I love Justin Edwards. Nice little spin move. He missed a shot tonight, but every time he takes on a little bit more, I like Justin Edwards. Justin Edwards actually reminds me of a Thunder player. He feels like he would be on the Thunder, Justin Edwards. Feels like a guy we would cut and the Thunder would sign him, actually.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's been cold a little bit lately. He was 4-7 from 3 against Houston, 3 of 8 from 3 tonight. It's good to see him getting touch back from the outside. He's put down a few pretty nasty left-handed dunks, which I obviously like to see. He's playing with, I think, more NBA physicality as the season has gone on. Mm-hmm. He looks more comfortable out there. Obviously, the shot he likes the most, and you can tell, is his little mid-range off the dribble.
Yeah.
That's his most like high school shot. It's like, I've been hitting this since I was like 9, and I make it at a crazy clip, which is nice, but I'm sure they want him getting to the rim more, generating fouls, being a threat there. But he just looks like he belongs, man. He just looks like he belongs. Big body, pretty strong, a little limited athletically, a little limited side to side, but pretty heady. Blocked the Chet jumper, that was cool. Gets his hands in passing lanes. He's totally a contributor.
Speaking of Chet, by the way, how about Alex Reese, who has actually become my favorite current Sixer?
I figured you would like him.
Yeah, trying to dunk on Chet tonight. I didn't
two-handed
see that.
dunk on
Yeah.
Chet. I think need him in the balls.
Did not see that coming. Did not see that coming from Alex Reese. I like Alex Reese. I think he's my guy on this team right now.
I like Alex Reese. I just, a guy that's that big, and it's like, I don't know, 6'8", 6'9", that can protect the rim a little, and has that quick of a release on 3. It's just I've seen so few releases that quick. And he was 3 of 7 from 3 tonight. He's been hot lately. I'm interested if they can bring him back on a 2-way next year. I'm very happy. Absolutely intrigued by him as a fun little guy.
Now Jalen Hood-Schifino definitely looks like a player who is he has talent, but looks like a player who is exploiting the current situation. Like he's one guy that I would not, has played well, but not buying it with him.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important to note that his first 3 games with the Sixers, and let's see tonight. Yep. So his all 4 games he's had with the Sixers constitute his career high in minutes each game.
Oh, really?
In the NBA. And so like he had played a year and a half in the NBA and just like didn't get to play at all. And so it's just fun to see him get opportunities and have like a little bit of success. In those Mavs and Rockets games, he was hitting shots. He was 5 of 9 from 3 in the Dallas game, 2 of 4 from 3 in the Rockets game. Has a chance to win it at the end. Got a good look at the end of regulation of the Rockets game, but looks confident off the catch. He moves the ball. The team as a whole seems to be moving the ball very well. Not as much tonight, but okay. Sixers Adam is texting me live pod that Alex Reese signed a 2-year 2-way, so he will, at least as projected, currently is on a 2-way next year, but that could obviously change.
I love it.
And with Jones,
Sixers Adam, are you watching this podcast right now?
I believe he is.
You motherfucker.
And I also like that Hood-Schifino caused Jalen Green to shove him with 2 hands.
Yeah,
I kind of like that.
That was funny.
I just wouldn't mind a couple more like physically annoying dickheads on the team. I think that would be helpful. I read the AU article about like how this isn't fun and he's not having a good time.
But he is having a good time now because of Quentin Grimes.
And he hates me.
Yeah,
AU
he
now
does
hates,
hate you.
fully hates me.
Yeah, he does.
And I'm like, I just want to make sure my position is clear. I didn't want the season to go like this.
Yeah.
I would have loved for the Sixers to have worked out and to contend for a playoff run. I would have loved that. I believe that it was going to happen before the season. It clearly didn't. I was just early on recognizing how bad it is and how it is not going to get better. And we should at least get something for the thing that is currently happening. And so while I'm enjoying it now, while I'm getting back to the reality that we have, I am finding a way to enjoy it. It is still not my ideal reality. I'm just saying this is what's happening. Let's enjoy. Let's take a breath. Enjoy the fresh air. Enjoy March Madness, which I am thrilled about, and get a kick out of fucking Quentin Grimes or Jalen Hood-Schifino or how about Chumo Keke, who had a great game tonight.
By the way,
Had
his
14 and
article was
15.
about him enjoying Quentin Grimes. Not
I know,
that
but
he's having a
there are a
bad-
number of shots at me in that article, which I'm fine with. But
Well, look, the thing you have to realize about AU is that AU is this combination of one of the kindest souls you've ever met, but is also a stubborn baby having a temper tantrum all the time. and he, since that argument,
which you could also say about the stubborn baby part. You could definitely say about the two of us as well.
well, sure, but AU, I project as a stubborn baby having a temper tantrum. Everybody's like, oh, Spike, he's a stubborn baby having a temper tantrum. AU projects at, oh, look at this mild-mannered, nice guy. But inside, he's the biggest stubborn baby having a temper tantrum you've ever had.
Sure.
So this is him writing stuff like that is just lashing out against you.
I'm fine to be lashed out at. I'm also thrilled about Quentin Grimes. I'm also excited about. I like finding little two-way guys. That was the fun part of the process. Was not just the losing for the draft pick. It was
No,
also
it was-
going
it was
like,
all
who
the
are those
different
little guys?
guys. Yeah.
Who are those guys trying hard that maybe could become something?
Who's
And
that guy?
And I've been rooting for Chumo Keke for fucking 6 years, and he had one of the best games of his career tonight. 14 and 15. He was 4 or 5 from deep. He was getting offensive rebounds. He's getting his Covington hands in there. A couple deflections. Seemed to piss off OKC in the first half with that. I had a blast. I was enjoying it. And then I started to fall asleep because I was jet lagged and the game got really out of hand. But
If
whatever.
only Japan were
if
7
only
more
Japan just
hours.
like simply changed their time to be 7 hours ahead. So it would be a clean 24 hours from here. That would be great. And just here, by the way, just the West Coast. Not wouldn't be the case on the East Coast, of course.
No.
But no, I agree with you on Jalen Hood-Schifino. I don't think that there's like a gem unearthed here, but I'm happy for the kid that he finally gets a shot to play NBA basketball, and you know, whether it's here or somewhere else, I think it could be. I think there's no reason why he couldn't continue to improve. He's got big body, good frame, moves the ball well, decent touch. Keep working at it, kid.
the
We're
Rights
having a
to
good
Ricky,
time.
the Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast.
That's what it's all about, Spike.
Keep working at it, kid. Is that real? Did you really just say that? Keep
Yeah,
working
why
at it, kid. The Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast brought to
I'm
you
just
by.
drinking a Surfside on a lawn in a lawn chair with my feet up.
Yep.
I'm having a blast, dude. This baseball season's right around the corner.
Adam Ksebe.
Adam Kasabi's buying me a house.
The official realtor of the process. The greatest thing about Ksebe as a realtor is he buys you the house.
That's
it's
it.
a new style in realtors is he buys you the house.
I know how it works.
He's going to help you buy the house though, or help you buy the house of your dreams of Delaware beaches. Or, you know, we don't often talk about this, but you know, so I'm buying a house in South Jersey, but we looked in Newcastle County, Delaware too, like Wilmington area, blah, blah, blah. And Ksebe can help you there. He's your first, no matter where you're buying a house, just go to him. Now, he can only sell you the house in Delaware, Maryland, but if you're going one of the other places, he'll find you a realtor. He interviews them. He'll get you the best person. But if you're looking, I'm just telling you right now, Delaware County, impossible to buy in Delco. There's nothing there. And everything there is way more expensive. If you're working in Philly or something, you work in Delaware, you just shoot right up 95. The prices in Delaware, way lower than Delco, way lower than even South Jersey. And Ksebe can help you with that. Of course, Delaware beaches. Ksebe is the king. Him and his team at Long and Foster, based out of Bethany Beach there, can help you with a home in Rehoboth or Lewis or Bethany or Dewey, wherever you want to go. They have Delaware covered head to toe. Maryland as well, maybe Ocean City, Maryland. It's hard to find a home down there right now. Hard. You need a good realtor. Ksebe is that dude. And as I mentioned, you're trying to buy or sell in Jersey or PA or New York or wherever. Go to him first. He will find you the realtor. So you only need to know one guy. Adam at processrealtor.com. That is Adam at processrealtor.com. Or give him a call, shoot him a text. This is his direct cell, 302-864-8643, 302-864-8643. Adam Ksebe, the official realtor of the process. Can we move on to other stuff?
Yeah, I just want to say it's good to see. Also good to see O'Shea Brissett have a good game.
Oh yeah,
He got here, showed up, and it was like, "Hey, you're starting at center." It's like,
Yeah.
okay, it's just this is the
that
this
is
the
very
fun stuff.
processy, by the way.
It, absolutely processing.
Yeah.
It's cool to see, and these guys like are fucking scrounging in the G League, and then they get a call up, and this is cool. And maybe somebody sticks as a 2-way or the last rotation spot, or all of a sudden somebody becomes like fucking James Ennis or something here, and then it's like, wow, we got that guy at that season, and now he's here on a team friendly deal, and everybody's happy, and the kids are working hard, and that's what it's all about, Spike.
So the tanking standings as of right now, the Sixers still tied with Brooklyn in that 5 spot at 23 and 46.
Brooklyn came really close to beating the Celtics the other night.
They were up at half.
Really close.
They're both 1 game ahead of the Toronto Raptors, who are 6. No matter how much they try to blow these games, they're 6-4 in their last 10. Honestly, if Dave Silver goes to them, you can't keep pulling your best players in the 4th, and they're like, we're 6-4 in our last 10. Like, what are you going to say to them? So we want that 5 spot. We want it badly, and we got to keep losing. So
Do we know what happens if it's a tie? 5-6. If Brooklyn is it a coin flip situation?
I think it's a coin flip situation. I'm saying that. I actually don't know. Why don't you
Sixers
text
Adam, if you're
Sixers
listening, text me.
Sixers Adam.
What happens?
Sixers Adam. What happens if we're tied? Just wait for him to
and
respond.
we'll wait, and we'll sit here, and we'll just sit here and wait, won't we?
And wait. I know you're watching Sixers Adam.
And won't we just sit here and wait?
Yep.
No, if there's a coin flip,
Yep.
I need to be at that coin flip.
And Josh
guess what?
Harris, you need to pay to fix that coin flip.
And guess what?
Yeah.
We're gonna rig that fucking coin flip.
Yep.
We're gonna rig that flip. That's gonna be a
We're gonna rig
loaded
it.
dice of a coin flip.
Rig
Sixers
it.
Adam says random drawing.
What does that mean?
Random drawing.
What does
Odds
that mean?
of top 4 pick get split evenly among the 4 teams tied.
Oh, okay. Okay. So,
but I
no
guess
one
my
gets the
concern
advantage.
is,
Yeah.
regardless of the pick, regardless of the percentage of jumping,
Uh-huh.
my concern is if neither team jumps, who gets to hold at 5?
Right. Well,
Because it
Yeah.
needs to be us.
it needs to be us.
And
Yeah,
if that's the case,
Sixers Adam,
I'm
that
going to tell
doesn't
you
even
what
sound
I will
like-
be doing is rigging it.
Rigging it.
I will be using my special skills.
Rigging
Okay, Sixers Adam
powers.
is texting one at a time. It's like one word at a time. Random drawing, basically a coin flip, determines which team picks higher if neither jumps.
Okay.
That's what the random drawing is for.
Well,
All right. Fucking
random
using
drawing. What a
lot.
weird way to say
Random
that.
drawing. I'm going to
Say
do a
it's a
random
coin
drawing of
flip.
you, Adam.
Yeah.
It's going to be a random as hell looking drawing of Sixers Adam.
Yep. Piece of shit.
Thanks
So
for
this-
watching, bud.
This week, the announcement. We're following this up. This happened. I think that maybe this happened. This happened
Rig it.
on Monday. I think it happened on Monday. That Paul George shut down for the season. Following consultations with specialists as part of his treatment plan, Paul George has received injections in both his left adductor muscle and left knee. Following the procedure, George is medically unable to play and will be out for at least 6 weeks. Further updates on his recovery will be provided as appropriate. I guess my question is this big picture question.
Yeah.
Do you still believe in the Paul George thing? Or are you like, nah, would rather not?
I'm going to be honest, but before I answer that,
Yeah.
I had thought this already happened, that he was out for the season. I
Oh,
was
no.
like-
Just happened
I-
this week.
I thought it happened when I was in Japan. I was like, oh yeah, he's gone. Everybody gone. And if he had played, if I'd come back and Paul George was still playing, I think I would have
Well,
lost my mind.
I think
I would
we
have thought
had-
I was having like jet lag, fugue state stuff.
I think there was at one point where I forget what. Oh, it was the first pod that I was doing with AU when he was sure that we were going to beat the Bulls and they got obliterated by the Bulls. And he was like, da 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 da, Paul George. And I'm like, AU, it's over. Paul George isn't going to play anymore. Maxey eventually is not going to play anymore. It's over. It's kaput.
Interested
So,
to see if Maxey plays again this year.
I think maybe they have to run him out for a game or two.
Probably have to.
Yeah.
I would guess. It is funny. We never talked about this, but Paul George deciding not to do his podcast anymore so that he could focus on his goal
we
winning
did it.
championship.
We did it.
I know.
With AU, yeah.
But it just funny.
It was just so insulting. And the best part
Look,
of it,
you should have never done it.
well, here's I can't believe we're
But a
going to do
little
this
late.
again. Yes. So my point was this. First of all, I think you could play basketball and do the podcast both fine.
I'm doing it.
Yeah. There are so many people that do a regular job and do a podcast.
It's the same.
However, if you don't think you can, you should have stopped way earlier and you shouldn't have even done it. And then the best part of the clip that most people don't hear because they don't last to the end because they're too busy throwing up all over themselves is him at the end going, and I'm not going to lie, one of the reasons I'm doing this is because I really want to do the podcast in person with my guys. And I'm like, fuck you. Can't you just say it's for the Sixers? My God. So
funny.
are you just like over it? You're like, I'm very close to being like, you know what? I thought it was the right thing, but maybe I don't need to hang on to this that much longer. And if somebody just wants to give us, you know, all the Nico Batums and, you know, regular NBA guys, and we just have regular NBA guys, and he's gone, and we can make pretend it didn't happen. I might be okay with that, to be honest with you.
My honest feeling is I'm not thinking about it too hard
Okay, that's
right
fair.
now.
Yeah.
I am taking a break from, if Paul's taking a break from his podcast, I'm taking a break from thinking about him.
That's fair.
There's still a lot of years and a lot of money on that deal. I do not want to, I just hate the feeling of, hey, we got the free agent we've been looking for. Yes, celebration, play 1 year that is clearly a cursed year.
Yeah.
And have to go, we have to trade him right away, and we have to trade stuff with him to get someone to take him. That just sucks. That happened with like Horford. Like obviously Paul George is makes more sense than Horford did at that point. Horford's still playing positive NBA basketball at this point. At a certain point, you do have to think, is the problem the Sixers? The answer to that question is yes. I'm not ruling out the idea that Paul George could be helpful, even in a slightly a smaller role, even though he's getting paid a fuckload. I did think the early part of the season, when he was getting shit while the season was not quite out of hand yet,
Yeah.
I did think there's things he's doing that are frustrating me, but I don't think he doesn't look super
Cooked.
washed to me.
Yeah. He didn't.
He's still playing a high level defense.
I think my point would be if you could get off without including a pick now, maybe you're getting out a year early rather than a year late.
But I don't think anybody's buying that. I think there's
Really?
three. I think right now there's 3 years, $1 billion left
Yeah.
after
1.6
after the
billion.
season.
Yeah.
So then the following year there'll be 2 years, significantly less billion. I think this year went as bad as it really could have gone. There's injuries, there's hand stuff, there's knee stuff. I don't think anybody's going like, no, we could still get him in his prime at that price, and that's why the Sixers want to trade him. Like I think if you try to trade Paul George now, you're either trading him with stuff to get someone to take him, or you're trading him for another bad distressed asset. And the thing about Paul, even when he's playing, let's say mediocre, let's say playing the C- version of himself, which he over the course of the full year probably was, partly because of the fucking broken pinky or whatever that he was insisted on playing with. He fits so well on any team, just like his skill set, maybe not his personality. I don't know, let's take that out of it. But like his skill set is being like, I can shoot threes off the catch. I can defend like at least three positions. And I'm just like a helpful spacer, even if the shots aren't going in. Like I like that more than another distressed asset they could trade him for, which is something closer to like, I'm making up stuff, but like Julius Randle. Like something where you're just like, oh, just a guy that doesn't really play defense, that is sort of like Westbrook, kind of not now anymore, but like
trade
that
it for
kind
Bradley
of thing.
Beal one less year.
No,
No.
I would rather have Paul George. There's not a lot of good options,
No.
so I'd rather just go like, okay, let's imagine that the money that Paul is making is actually being made by Jared McCain next year. Yes.
Would you maybe just try to call the league and have them void the contract because you were drugged?
I could think of something. I probably wouldn't go with that one, but
Right.
I could go with like change some numbers when nobody's looking.
Yes. So made it. We
And
only
go
signed
like,
you
we
to
didn't
it.
do anything.
Yeah, this
like-
was a 2-year deal.
Yeah, Ocean's 14,
$8 million a year.
where it's changed the contract of Paul George, so he's expiring this year and he's actually only making like 1.5.
Yeah. Speaking of guys named Paul, our former Paul, that is Paul Reed, aka B-Ball Paul, quote tweeted a tweet from one Keith Pompey. Throw it up there, CJ. Now, the Keith Pompey tweet was daily glimpse at NBA reverse standings. The
I
Sixers,
love when Keith gives us a glimpse.
yeah, daily glimpse of NBA reverse
The only
standings.
place we can go to for glimpses.
Wet hand. Shout out Wet hand.
It should
This-
be written on his hand. The standings
Yeah.
should be written on his hand.
The 76ers move into a fifth place tie with the Brooklyn Nets after Friday's much needed loss to the Indiana Pacers at the Wells Fargo Center. Paul Reed tweets, quote tweets, they thought I was the problem. Hand over face.
Yeah.
Like, I feel bad that he thinks that everybody thought that he was the problem.
Here's the thing. I have
Yeah.
two things to say about this.
Yeah.
One, I have absolutely no issue with anyone, including Tobias,
Roasting us.
roasting the Sixers right
That's
now.
fair. Yep.
Anyone that has left the Sixers, Harden, Tobias, Dana Barros, the ghost of Wilt Chamberlain, anybody who wants to roast the Sixers, absolutely go for it. You deserve it. There's no
Brian
nothing to stand on.
Colangelo.
Brian Colangelo, Jerry Colangelo,
Okay.
Tony DeLeo, Doug Collins, Eddie Jordan, anybody who
Okay.
wants to do it, you totally do it for the next 6 months or whatever. Have at it. That being said, this kind of thing, they,
Yes.
and this is kind of the problem with social media when you're like reading your mentions, is like 1,000, 2,000, whatever people are saying things to you all the time, and you're internalizing them as if they're one person.
Yes.
And so somebody's saying, Paul, we love you. You're the man. B-ball Paul forever. And somebody's saying, your shot is busted. You suck. You shouldn't be in the NBA. And he's like, this, not him specifically, but anybody is kind of like, oh, on the one hand, I'm supposed to be here forever. I'm B-ball Paul forever. Everyone loves me. But on the other hand, I shouldn't be in the NBA. How can it be both? And it's like, well, they're two different people. Those are different people. Different people are saying things. And so like every athlete or politician or fucking whatever are saying like they want this, but they like, it's just this amorphous they that is just noise coming at you of whatever opinions you feel like shadow boxing at any given time. Some people didn't like B-ball Paul. Very few of them said he was the problem. So he's obviously wrong about this. But I also, again, he's allowed
It probably felt to him.
It probably felt to him like people
yeah.
were saying that because
Yeah.
it's like a mass of notifications of people
Even
like
if
saying
it's
he sucks.
Even if it's 70 people out of the million
Yeah.
of Sixers fans, 70 people feels like, fuck,
Yeah.
that's a lot of people telling me that I'm the fucking problem.
There are if you look at the entire if you look at the entire world or the entire like follower count of B-ball Paul, you will find every opinion known to man
Right.
from those people. A random selection of like whatever, how 85,000 people that follow B-ball Paul. Like it's just you can't take it. If I was a professional athlete, I would not be, and I didn't have to like if I was making enough money to be like, all right, I don't need to like do this ad or something. I would
Well,
not be on
I'd
social
make
media.
other people do it for me.
Yeah,
I
that's
would
also
do-
fine.
Yeah.
I would just not do it because I do think it makes you go insane.
Yes, it does. Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast presented by Draftkings Sportsbook. College hoops tournament. We're not allowed to say the double M thing. I just don't want you to say it here. You're not allowed to say it. But college hoops tournament this weekend.
Tourney time.
Tourney time. Cinderellas, upsets,
Bracket
big
mode.
shots. Mike in a sports bar for 18 straight hours with Daryl Morey.
Oh, baby.
It's all this weekend.
Let's go.
Now, Mike-
I'll be there in 13 hours.
Now, Mike, we did get an email, by the way, before we get to the rest of the DraftKings stuff here. This is from Robert. And I just want you to know that the subject line was, Mike doesn't know ball.
Whoa.
I come with unfortunate news. For background, I graduated from Georgia and work in their broadcasting department, so I've watched every UGA game. On the most recent pod, I was quite excited to hear Mike talk about Asa Newell. Asa Newell. I've always respected Coach Mike's ball knowledge and depth, especially when talking about college basketball, and I agreed with his assessment about Asa being solid, yet potentially lacking the high ceiling you'd want from a top 6 pick.
Great.
However, he said something that shook me to my core. Quote, Georgia is not going to make the tournament. Probably
I know.
not.
This was
Maybe
my
they
fault.
will.
This is 100% my fault.
Okay.
100% my fault. I
Okay.
own it.
Okay.
My bad.
Okay.
I heard myself saying that later, and I was like, oh, fuck. I was completely wrong and forgetting that they were in the tournament. They are a 9 seed. They're playing Gonzaga. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I apologize. I wasn't locked in, and now I am.
Okay. Well, I'm just looking at the college basketball tournament section on the DraftKings Sportsbook thing. So there's a parlay the bracket segment section where you can do a bunch of, obviously, parlays. You do futures. Anybody you like to... So Duke is plus 320 to win it all. No New Jersey schools. So Rutgers at 15-17, not in the tournament. You can't bet on them. Florida, I think that's because I'm in New Jersey. You can't bet on a team in
so
your
funny
state.
just to say that. No New Jersey schools.
Well, that's what it says in the thing. It says it. I don't think you can bet on a college team in your
I don't
state.
think that says it on everybody's.
Yeah. It says it on mine. Florida plus 380, Auburn plus 400, Houston plus 600. Do you like any longer, not long shots, but longer shots? Anybody?
I like a number of them. Spike.
Okay. You want to give me a couple? I'll tell you what the odds are.
I like Texas Tech.
Texas Tech is plus 3,500.
These I don't feel much pleasure out of gambling on a 1 seed.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Well, who does?
Yeah. And
Anybody else? You want to give us one more?
Is this to win it or to make the...
To win it. I could do to reach Sweet 16, to reach Final Four. What do you want?
Yeah, I like going for like a winning their region type of.
Okay,
type
well
of
here's to reach the Final Four. You want to give us one more?
My dangerous one that I'm financially tied to is Louisville.
Louisville. Why are they not on here?
They're the 8th seed in the South region.
So to reach Elite 8, they are plus 600. For some reason, there's not a bet for them to reach the Final Four. Auburn also. Now, to reach the Elite 8, Auburn is... I don't know.
I also like my guys at Clemson. I've always been a Clemson guy.
There you go, Clemson.
I'm intrigued by... Who do I want to say?
Say Georgia.
I like a VCU. I'm excited to see. I think the VCU could make their way to the Sweet 16. I'm excited for a UConn Florida matchup in the second round. That's gonna be sick. This is gonna be great, dude. I'm dripping. I got sweat pouring down my brow.
Hey-o.
All over the place.
If it's your first time.
Tourney time.
If it's your tourney time, March Mania. If it's your first time, sign up for DraftKings Sportsbook. You bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. You know what I would do with that offer? I would bet the $5, get the $200 in bonus bets, and I would bet 200 more bucks on whatever Mike told me to.
Wow.
Bet the unexpected with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code RTRS. That is code RTRS. This is a good time to get involved, right? Everybody likes betting on the friggin' tournament. That's code RTRS for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 only at DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Gotta be 21. See show notes for details.
Also, the women's tournament. It's going to be really, really good, especially once we get to the Sweet 16 Elite 8. We're going to go to a game at SC. And Alyssa went to SC and was furious at me when I picked UCLA to win it all. So
wow. I would be furious at you too. I was only there for 1 year and I realized
UCLA is very good. I'll be rooting for USC.
They called us a University of Spoiled Children. That's what the UCLA kids. As if they're not spoiled.
They still say it.
Yeah. They're spoiled too.
It's gonna be good.
I've been to UCLA. There's a bunch of spoiled
Dan
kids.
Allender noted this in his last article, but if you should be watching Juju Watkins. She's just an incredible watch. She's a sophomore at SC and she's unbelievable. And she's getting a lot of publicity, but she really is an incredible watch. Oh, I love the tournament. I love March and I love brackets and regions.
So, okay. So we have three things. We're only going to do one of them.
Let's go.
They're all three are Daryl related. Actually,
oh boy,
the one is quick, so we're just going to do that, and I'll let you pick the other two.
I'm looking at the thing now. I think we should make when he comes on eventually. I think we should make Daryl read this and respond to every word of it. Like we should Mystery Science 3000.
The one about the tiny hands, or Mike O'Connor's?
Mike's article.
So do you want to skip the Mike O'Connor thing and just make Daryl read it, or do you want to talk about Mike O'Connor?
I think we should skip that and make Daryl read it.
Okay.
What's the tiny hands?
I'm sure he's read it, by the way. That is my gut. My gut is that the team is locked in on the Ricky right now, to be quite honest with you. And yeah, Mike O'Connor has, I give Mike credit. So you should subscribe to Mike's writing, Rights To Ricky Sanchez.com. Just hit subscribe. His always get the most comments, and the almost like, Mike has developed into, he's angry, but he's also fucking such a good writer and knows his shit that it cuts through in a way that I feel like very few people cut through. But you should read Mike O'Connor's thing on Daryl. I thought it was well reasoned, and I actually don't think it was that angry, but I thought there were a lot of good points in it. But this is from Joe from London. Hi, Spike, Mike, CJ, and Norman. Have you ever noticed that Daryl has borderline comically tiny hands? This is what happens when it doesn't go well, Daryl. I just need you to know. I was watching.
What about his legs?
Yeah, I was watching the now notorious clip of him talking about LLMs, and all I could see was his tiny hands as he tried to make an insightful point. Is this something, or do I just resent him on a level that makes me petty? I have nothing helpful to say beyond this. Fuck this curse season. I'm not looking forward to us all crashing out when we hit 7 in the lottery. Any comment on his?
I haven't noticed
on his hands.
But it's reason enough to not become a public figure, to have some guy from London be like, "What's going on there?" Okay, now we got a shot of his hands on the screen. He's in a suit, but he's not wearing a dress shirt, and so it maybe looks. If you look at it long enough, it does.
They look tiny. Yeah,
but it might be a perspective thing.
Yeah, because he's a tall guy. He's a tall drink of water. He's like 6'4", 6'5", something like that.
Daryl, give us your measurables. You should, Daryl, do the combine. You want to get a little bit of a, like,
do you have
good
Kenny
publicity?
Pickett hands, or do you have Nick Foles hands? That's what I want to know.
Whatever you got to do. I would run. Let's see you run the shuttle run. Let's see. Like, give me your wingspan. Give me like a shirtless pic with your wingspan out. That's I think a good way, and maybe do it. Maybe make it a PR thing. Like, hey, come. The Sixers have been bad. We're excited about the draft. We're gonna do the combine. All season ticket holders, come do the combine with us here, and I'll even start. And I'm Daryl Morey, and you guys like me, right? This is free. This is a free pitch. Totally free
paying for it. Like, what is the? Who would?
Well, it's a free idea. I'm giving them an idea to.
Oh, so you're not going to come after them if they use the idea?
No, they can use this. It's free.
Idea.
And I think that if season ticket holders are mad and they want season ticket holders to be happy and to renew, then running a season ticket holder combine, draft combine that Daryl participates in could be a good way to pacify them.
Speaking of that comment about the LLMs, we did get a very funny tweet, as I did not say his name because I didn't remember it last time, but the other guy that was on the panel is Senthil Mullainathan, and very, very way too smart guy. And he hit us. We didn't say his name. He hit us with a say the name tweet back at the pod.
Wow.
He hit us with a say the name. Wow. So seems like a guy who listens to the pod occasionally. So Senthil, if you ever want to come on the pod and convince Mike that AI is worth it, open invite.
Just making me prepare questions for the smartest guy alive.
Yes,
okay,
it would be great. But as we found out on that panel, he was we've had super smart guys on before. Remember we had Sean Carroll on?
I know.
Yeah.
But I don't think I acquitted myself well there.
So, this guy maybe not quite on the same level as Marcus Morris. So now this is one big clip, and I think maybe what we do is we play the clip and we stop it as something is funny. So Marcus Morris was on the Kevin O'Connor show on Yahoo, and KOC asked him about Daryl, and it just seems that Marcus Morris is not quite happy that the Sixers did not sign him last offseason, is what my gut is telling me. So here is the clip. CJ, be ready for a stop.
I'm curious, as a player, what were your thoughts on Daryl Morey's comments about using AI to assist in making decisions?
Man, listen, I'm gonna just say this, and this will be the first time I ever said this. I don't trust Daryl Morey. I just don't trust him. I think he's thinking it too far ahead of the way basketball needs to be played. He's trying to do a whole new team. He's trying to bring guys in. He's flipping them in and out. Then Does he even understand the dynamic of being in Philadelphia? What guys you need to play in Philadelphia? Like, understand how the team needs to gel first before you start talking about AI. What does AI do? Like, I understand the effects it can have on other, other spots of maybe the offense, the numbers and things like that. But like telling you what guys you should choose or which guy fits what you're trying to do. What has he won? Like, he hasn't won in so long, right?
He's come close. He came close in Houston. They went to a Game 7 against the amazing Warriors.
And then what happened to that team the next year?
They blew up.
You tell my guy JH that you're gonna do something for him, a guy that you brought from all these teams, and then you don't like the AI tell him not to pay James Harden this amount of money. Like, does the AI tell him to go get
George, hire Nick Nurse.
Hire Nick Nurse. Does AI tell you to get the guy from Miami,
Caleb
Martin, because he played well in the Boston series? He can't shoot the ball. You got three dominant guys that needs the ball in their hand. Why is that the first guy that you go get, right? Like, how did you come up with picking a team? Why do you want to start a brand new team and try to win a championship? I haven't seen any team that has 10 new guys be really good the following year. I don't even know if any team has ever done that. Like, I'm just not a fan of like how he go about choosing players and like flipping players in and out. It's kind of like he's trying to like outsmart the game too much, right? It's like,
I mean, Daryl's had a lot of success. Like with Houston, he built a really great team, an innovative team. With Philly,
Jesus Christ, this is the longest clip in the fucking home. 5 minutes of these guys hanging out.
We could.
One of the weirdest hangs I can ever imagine. These two,
KOC and Marcus Morris. Yeah,
it's the most bait question anyone's ever asked anyone is like, well, what if KOC asked that question and Marcus Morris was like, yeah, I think it's good. I think it's smart. I think.
Well, I wouldn't have guessed that Marcus Morris would have reacted that negatively, but maybe it's because Daryl traded him after Marcus Morris got the key to the city.
Yeah, that might be it. That's a human. There's a human element there.
Yeah,
that I understand why Marcus feels that way.
He seems like he likes James Harden too, Marcus.
Yeah, and I mean, look, the thing that I took out of that, which is not much, but like when James was saying the thing to the children in China.
Yeah. It always sounds weird to say in China. It feels like you're being like when you saying things to children in China, not you saying it.
Yeah, I wanted to be clear
weird
about
to
saying Chinese children seems worse. So I'm
even though
I'm
they
going
are
with his speaking. Well, I don't know that they are. He is saying something to children in China. Okay. And he said, Daryl Morey's a liar. I don't trust him. I'll never play for him again.
Yeah.
And then a couple months later, Daryl trades him, and then Pat Bev says something like kind of similar
after he released Pat Bev,
right? Well, traded him in the campaign trade.
Yeah,
and so my thing was I'm worried that whether it's true or not, whether James has like a leg to stand on or not. Obviously, Daryl would probably and has said that he hasn't lied and there wasn't anything agreed upon and blah blah blah. A reputation becomes a reputation, and I do think like the like drip of people just going like, nah, I'm not going to play for that guy. It could make a difference if it hasn't already. And so that's annoying. And I don't know how much that factors into how ownership views Daryl and like his role on the team going forward.
It certainly didn't prevent them from getting Paul George and now the obvious. Now I thought the thing he said about an entirely new team winning a championship, I mean, that's fair, but I don't know what else. You can't keep players just because they're not, just to not change them.
Kept Tobias the whole time.
Right. Right. So I agree with them, but then I also just go, well,
yeah, I mean, I
if
don't
the
think
players that were here, I'm sure they would have loved to keep Nick Batum. He didn't want to be here anymore. Like he wanted to go back to LA. So I don't know what the other option is at that point, because I don't think that this was like he's making a constructive argument on the level. Yeah. There can be like points in there that he says that are valid with like, hey, why would you sign Caleb Martin? You need a shooter to spread the floor around those guys. That proved that, especially with Caleb like having a fucked up shoulder, that proved out to be true.
But I think he's just like, I wanted to sign there. I was campaigning to sign there and would still do it now. And he hasn't signed me and won't, it seems like, even though Nick Nurse likes playing me and wanted to play me more. So fuck that guy. He doesn't know what he's doing. Which is entirely reasonable for him to do.
Well, as on a personal level, absolutely. Yes. Yeah. So there you go. Are we really going to make Daryl read the Michael Connor article?
I think he should. I think he should get to chime in, whether Mike is here for it or not. Daryl should get to chime in and react to it in real time. Sort of like as either I'm reading or he's reading it, and he stops to like provide commentary.
It might be funny if he doesn't do it. Now, I know you're not a big AI guy, but we could get a voice that sounds exactly like Daryl to read
Absolutely not.
Okay.
We get CJ to do it. CJ's got a beautiful voice.
He sounds like Daryl.
Why does it need to sound like Daryl? It'd be weird if it sounded like Daryl. It's not written in the voice of Daryl.
That's what makes it funny.
That doesn't make any sense. There doesn't make logic there.
Well,
so we'll have CJ read it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
All right. Well, we will be back with you this weekend. I'll be in Atlanta for Fly the Process with the brave souls who are send an email to everybody thanking them for coming, and got a few notes back just being like, we're psyched anyway. And I'm like, Atlanta's a fun town. It's different. Lou Williams, lemon pepper wings, all that kind of stuff. So
everybody listens to the podcast, has a Genius grant, and they're excited to root for this team. And that's just our base, our core listeners of this podcast are very brilliant people listening to this.
I think on Saturday, I'm going to go meet a bunch of them out and watch the tournament, even though I don't like the tournament, just to be one of the guys. What do you think of that? Go watching the tournament on Saturday. Me.
Let's do it.
Even though I don't like the tournament.
You should.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, how do you not like the tournament?
I just don't care.
But that's different than not liking it.
Yeah, if it's on, it's fine.
It's just the 4 best days in sports are upon us.
I would rather watch Killing of the Sacred Deer again in my hotel room by myself.
And that says it all.
All right. We'll talk to you this weekend. Are you done with TTP?
Yeah. Lick face.